Thanks, David. Unemployment rose during the Great Depression for many reasons. During the unemployment phase, many events happened such as businesses shut down, the stock market fell, and the AAA was formed. During this horrible time, many causes, problems, and impacts happened. Businesses shutting down was the main cause. The stock market failing was the main problem, and the AAA was formed was the main impact. These stand along with many other events. The Great Depression started on Tuesday, October 29th, 1929. It is known as Black Tuesday.
During the time of unemployment during the Great Depression, there were many causes. One of the causes was the banks in the United States shutting down. Banks shut down for many reasons. A reason is that they loaned out too much money because people were going low on money and they wanted more to buy food, also supplies. So now they had a low supply of money while people still wanted loans. They couldn't give them a loan, so they denied it. While all of this was happening, the people who had loans couldn't pay them back. The banks couldn't pay for the supplies, so they had to shut down. Another cause was that businesses shut down, so people couldn't find jobs. Businesses shut down because they lost money. Then they had to fire employees to save money, but then people didn't have the money to buy, so businesses shut down. With the businesses shutting down, the unemployed people couldn't find jobs because businesses shut down, or the businesses with employees didn't need any more. One more cause was people lost important money in the stocks because the stocks market fell. This caused people to not be able to buy food and goods, so businesses didn't get the required sales amount, so people became unemployed. It was like a chain reaction. Most people during this time depended on stocks or for money, so when the market crashed, they lost an important amount of money, causing buying goods and supplies much more difficult. These events are what caused unemployment in the Great Depression.
During unemployment in the Great Depression, there were a large amount of problems. One was people lost money, so they became homeless and some starved. Most people became unemployed, so they didn't have the money to buy food, supplies, and couldn't pay for their homes. Unemployed people had to live in the streets because they didn't have much money, so they couldn't eat, and the usual result was starving or death. While living in the streets unemployed, some people caught sicknesses and diseases. Way too much people became homeless. So much people that 300,000 people had to leave their homes, although not all of them were homeless. Another tragic problem was when the businesses shut down, no one could find jobs to become employed. This caused people to not earn money to buy the things that they need, so they became poor. Businesses didn't rise again because people didn't have the money to start a store, factory, and etc. Some people were in luck though because they were in a business that didn't fail, so they didn't lose their jobs. Eventually, they wouldn't get business because people didn't have the money to buy their goods, so that caused them to lay off people, and the cycle starts again. One last problem is farmers weren't making any businesses, so they had to cut back. Most grocery stores shut down, so farmers didn't have anyone to sell to. To decrease this problem, they slaughtered animals and tore parts of crops down. Farmers had trouble with businesses also because of World War I, because many soldiers needed help. Those were some of the problems during unemployment during the Great Depression.
There were also many impacts during the Great Depression. One, for example, was because of people losing money, they became homeless. They had to move out because they couldn't pay the bills for their homes. Most people moved out in hope to find new homes or live with relatives. Most of them were unsuccessful. Many of the homeless people died or starved because of lack of food. It seemed that at every corner there was homeless men and women. Another impact was the AAA was formed. The AAA means the Agriculture Adjustment Administration. The AAA helped to boost farmers' incomes so then they could still have food in the future. They were formed also because if every farmer closed down or stopped productivity, there would be a scary low amount of food. The AAA loaned money to farmers, and when the farmers didn't pay back, they didn't make a big deal out of it. The last impact is farmers wasted a lot of money buying pigs and seeds because people couldn't afford to buy food. The citizens of America lost a lot of money, so then they didn't have the money to buy goods from farmers. That caused farmers to cut back. That was another reason the AAA was formed. Those are the impacts of unemployment during the Great Depression.
Unemployment rose during the Great Depression for many reasons. I'm glad that we are living in our time. It's bad that this happened to the U.S., but it's good because it taught us a huge lesson. It's unbelievable what Congress is doing now. Those were the many impacts, causes, and problems of unemployment during the Great Depression. Back to you, Jim.
We will now go on commercials.